Welcome back, y'all, to the Poorly Educated Podcast. Today in the news, where we make sense of America's mess using the same logic we use to fix our lawnmowers. Bang it a few times, blame the government, and hope it starts running again. Now, today's show is a special kind of chaos casserole. Equal parts government shutdown, foreign policy meltdown, economic confusion, and just a sprinkle of aliens probably smarter than us. America's in one of them moments where half the country's arguing about healthcare, the other half's arguing about Palestine, and all of us are arguing about why the gas station biscuits are smaller than they used to be. So buckle up. We're going on a road trip through the dumpster fire that is October 22nd, 2025. Segment 1. The Great American Timeout, Government Shutdown, Day 22. Well, y'all, the government's been shut down for 22 days now, which means the United States of America officially has the same productivity level as my cousin Earl after 3 bush lights. This all started because President Trump and Congress can't agree on healthcare spending. Democrats want to keep the Affordable Care Act tax credits alive. Republicans want to go clean and pass a spending bill with 0 extras, like when your buddy says, "Let's go fishing, but no beer this time." You know how that ends. And now, hundreds of thousands of federal workers ain't getting paid. TSA agents are showing up at airports with that "don't test me" face. Air traffic controllers are on fumes, and the government's saving money by turning off websites. That's right. The IRS website is now under construction, which I guess is one way to avoid paying taxes. Meanwhile, Trump's out here throwing lunch parties for Republican senators. 'Cause apparently, if you're gonna burn the house down, you might as well serve dessert while it happens. And he's calling the layoffs a reduction in force. That's politician talk for "you fired," but make it sound fancy. Over 10,000 federal workers could get permanently laid off. The president even bragged, saying most of them were Democrats. Now, I don't know about you, but when the boss tells you you're fired and then adds "because of your voting record," that's not management. That's mob logic. Airports are delayed. SNAP and WIC food benefits are in limbo. Small business loans are frozen. And the government's losing $400 million a day just to pay people not to work later. It's like the world's dumbest layaway plan. We've had 23 shutdowns since 1974. At this point, America shuts down more often than McDonald's ice cream machines. Segment 2. Israel, Palestine, and the pole herd round the world. While the government's busy not governing, the American people done something shocking. They changed their minds. According to a Reuters poll, 59% of Americans now support recognizing a Palestinian state. That's right. After decades of cheering, "We stand with Israel," folks are starting to say, maybe both sides need a nap and a snack. Even 41% of Republicans agree. Which is wild, 'cause 5 years ago, saying that at a GOP barbecue would get you tackled into the coleslaw. Apparently, 60% of Americans also think Israel's response in Gaza's been excessive. When a majority of folks start using the word excessive, you know it's bad. That's the same word my doctor used about my chili cheese fry consumption. Now Trump's in a pickle. He's taking credit for brokering a ceasefire. Says if peace works out, he deserves a Nobel Prize, a parade, and probably a golden statue of himself shaking hands with Moses. But here's the problem. People are cheering peace but booing his policy. It's like clapping for the band but hating every song. Other countries like the UK, Canada, and France already recognized Palestine. So now America looks like that stubborn uncle still arguing the moon landing was faked while everyone else moved on. But here's the kicker. Over half of Americans say if peace holds, Trump does deserve credit, which means America might not agree with him, but they're still going to let him brag about it. That's the political equivalent of patting your dog on the head after he eats your mail. Good effort, buddy. Segment 3. Wall Street, Waffle House, and the AI apocalypse that ain't happening. Now let's talk economy, that thing that supposedly works better when we don't talk about it. Wall Street's acting twitchier than a squirrel on Red Bull. The shutdown's messing with data. Netflix lost money over taxes in Brazil, which sounds like a very specific nightmare. And Beyond Meat stock doubled, 'cause internet investors got bored again. When plant-based meat's the hottest thing on Wall Street, you know the market's lost its mind. Meanwhile, gold prices dropped faster than my GPA in high school. Guess investors finally realized you can't eat shiny rocks when the economy collapses. Though that ain't stopped preppers from trying. But the real comedy's in this new AI paradox. Turns out, even though every CEO in America's been shouting about artificial intelligence, most of them ain't actually using it. 2/3 of corporate tax departments haven't adopted AI at all. They talk about robots taking jobs, but the robots are like, "Can y'all fill out the paperwork first?" Companies say they don't have time or money to implement it, which is funny, because AI's supposed to save time and money. It's like refusing to buy a dishwasher because you're too busy hand-washing dishes. And 58% of these departments say they're understaffed. Join the club, buddy. My cousin's gas station's been understaffed since 1998. It's just him, a raccoon, and a note that says, "Ring bell if snake bites." Economists say this short-term panic and long-term laziness are connected. America's got a scarcity mindset. We're too busy putting out fires to build anything new, which explains why we've been rebuilding the same pothole in my town since Obama. Segment 4. ICE raids, street vendors, and the Great Canal Street crackdown. Y'all, I've seen some dumb government priorities before, but this one takes the funnel cake. While the government's shut down, can't process food stamps, can't approve mortgages, somehow ICE found enough gas money to roll an armored truck through Chinatown. They said it was a counterfeit goods raid. Yeah, right. 'Cause nothing says national security threat like a street vendor selling fake purses. Next thing you know, the FBI's gonna storm the flea market for bootleg DVDs of Fast and Furious 12. Videos show agents zip-tying vendors and shoving protesters while folks chanted ICE out of New York. And here's the part that'll make your brain melt. This shut-down government had no trouble deploying dozens of federal agents, tactical vehicles, and rifles to confiscate sunglasses. New York officials said they had no clue it was happening. Even the mayor's like, "Bro, we didn't RSVP to this nonsense." Activists called it authoritarian theatrics. I call it government cosplay. They're out there playing pretend army while the rest of us are waiting for the DMV to reopen. So let me get this straight. The government can't cut checks, but it can cut zip ties on counterfeit handbags? That's not a shutdown. That's selective service. If it don't make money or scare people, it's apparently closed for maintenance. Segment 5. From Canal Street to the cosmos, the universe laughs at us. Now, while America's arguing over who to blame for all this, the James Webb Space Telescope decided to drop the ultimate "y'all are tiny" reminder. Scientists found out early galaxies were chaotic, messy, and unstable. Basically, the cosmic version of our government. They say these galaxies eventually calmed down and formed nice, orderly spirals like the Milky Way. Which means maybe there's hope for us, after a few billion years and several impeachment hearings. Meanwhile, the Gaia Space Telescope spotted a massive wave, a ripple stretching across the Milky Way, tens of thousands of light years wide. Scientists think it might be the leftovers from a galaxy collision. Me personally, I think it's the universe shaking its head at us like, y'all still arguing about tax credits? These discoveries remind us that chaos can create order. The early universe was a hot mess. Now it's beautiful. Maybe we're just in our cosmic puberty phase as a country. Hormonal, angry, and breaking out in political acne. It's humbling, really. We're all just stardust. Angry, loud, poorly informed stardust yelling about healthcare on Facebook. In conclusion, America, the shutdown that keeps on giving. So what did we learn today, y'all? We learned that the government can't pay its workers but can fund a small army for a purse raid. That Wall Street's scared of its own reflection. That Americans are finally reading the fine print on foreign policy. And that somewhere out in the cosmos, galaxies are forming while we can't even form a budget. The shutdown's not just a pause button, it's a mirror. It shows us who's got power, who's losing it, and who's pretending to have it. And spoiler alert, it ain't us. But maybe, just maybe, like those chaotic galaxies, all this disorder is part of something bigger. Maybe America's just shaking off the cosmic dust, trying to figure out what kind of galaxy it wants to be. A stable spiral of reason or a swirling mess of space junk and conspiracy theories. Either way, we'll still be here, me, you, and Earl, talking about it into this busted microphone until the lights come back on. Thanks for tuning in to the Poorly Educated Podcast, Today in the News. Remember, stay curious, stay chaotic, and if you see an ICE agent holding a Louis Vuitton purse, tell him to put it down and go reopen the SBA.